Welcome to Someone Awesome Films. Today we're going to review Assassin's Creed 3, another game by Ubisoft in the Assassin's Creed series. This time number 3, ignoring Brotherhood and Revelations. They're not numbered. They were just fillers, really. Let's be honest, they were fillers. Revelations sucked so bad. Thankfully, this game doesn't have that slapped together feeling. This game has been in the works for a couple of years now, and it shows. Because it's completely new, completely different, brand new character. We're following Connor in the colonial times. He's a half Native American, half British descent, so he's pretty awesome. He's a pretty complicated character. He's actually really interesting. Like, Altair was really a nothing character in the first Assassin's Creed. Then Ezio had like 3 games to get his character sorted out. Connor's just interesting from the start, because he's got a lot of going on. He's got a lot of family troubles happening. He's got the whole British coming in, the revolutions happening. There's all these massive historical events happening around him. So it's awesome to see him involved in them, and he's just really interesting. Plus, not to mention, there is another character who he plays, Haytham. This guy is just like one of the best Assassin's Creed characters. Like, he's the Han Solo of Assassin's Creed games, this guy. He's just awesome. So kudos to the characters. So story is good. The setting is awesome. While the buildings aren't like massive buildings like in Assassin's Creed 2 and stuff, they're more like, they're just like houses and pubs and stuff. They're easier to climb, quicker to get around, but like it didn't really like distract from the game. There was no like, oh, I can't believe like I'm running through the streets a lot more, or there's not enough stuff to climb. It didn't matter. Climbing has been overhauled. You can climb through trees. You can pretty much climb anything now. Like you can climb cracks in the wall. That's how good climbing has become. So climbing up a little building, it doesn't matter. There's much more interesting things to climb in this game than previous games. Desmond is there as well, of course. You know, you're living through the Animus and Desmond's storyline is there. This is probably Desmond's final storyline. Possibly, I don't know, I'm not sure. Supposedly it is. And his story is actually much more interesting than usual. You actually get to play a few extra missions as him. And he's much more of a badass, and he's pretty awesome, which is, it's good to see Desmond getting a bit of the spotlight. Even though the ending, some people will probably pull a Mass Effect 3 on it and be like, "Whoa, it sucks, rewrite it," or whatever. But it's, you know, it is what it is. There'll probably be more Assassin's Creed games after this. Probably, I'd say that, like, knowing 99.9% that there most definitely will be, like, they would give up their series anyway. So, Desmond's storyline, it's cool to see him be a badass, but at the same time, the ending is kind of like, well, after all these years, I was expecting something more, but let's see where you go with this. Who cares? I don't know what you're going to do. You might come up with something brilliant next time, but what you've done so far, I'm not going to complain. I'm happy with it. It's cool. Now, the history in this game is what I want to get into. Connor is cool and all, but making him live through historic events is exciting, and it's cool to see it firsthand. But my issue with this is that he is the historical event. So if you have like the Boston Tea Party, like throwing tea overboard, or some kind of war engagement that is like a big event, Connor is the reason it happened or it went the way it went. There's no like, he's, for an assassin, like a series about assassins, there's no in the shadows work here. It's just front and center. George Washington, you suck. Connor, I am actually George Washington, kind of thing. It's just like, couldn't this war go on and he has to go, oh crap, I've got to get from here to here and this is in the way, I've got to sneak my way through it. No, it's just like, no, this war is me. I am the war. Whatever, get out my way. So that, I had issues with that. It's just kind of like, why did he have to be the one to do everything? And I mean everything. He commanded everyone, he did everything, which was annoying, but, you know, if that's what they want to do, to show Connor as like this badass, old great hero, then whatever. That's your thing, Ubisoft. Connor is a Native American, so he hunts. There it is. There's hunting in this game. A lot of people compare this to Red Dead Redemption because of the hunting. Where, sure, why not? Hunting animals. Why not call it big buck game assassins or whatever? But I actually see this more of like a LA Noire kind of thing. Yes, there's hunting, so you got your Red Dead, but the game kind of plays out like LA Noire, I found, in the fact that a lot of missions involved you just walking places and listening to story and let the story come through. So a lot of the time it felt like you were just watching a TV show. You weren't actually engaged in much. But that being said, that's not every mission. That's a big part because they've got to get a big story across here. So there's a lot of things where it's just like walk to this building, talk to this person, walk to this building, talk to this person. Go here, someone's got to tell you some information. I'm fine with that. I'm good. Story's good, so I got no beef with that. The awesome thing they have added is sailing. You get a ship. That is awesome. You get a massive ship, and you get to command it like Pirates of the Caribbean style, naval combat. You get cannons, swivel guns, sail the seven seas, whatever. Well, not the seven seas, but you know, it's that feeling, that grand feeling of going out in the ocean and just fighting other ships. If they made a whole game about this, I would buy it. I would play it. It's just awesome. If I went from port to port, doing whatever, upgrading my ship, and in between I just shot down other ships and then like discover treasure, that game, I would buy that game. Make that Assassin's Creed game. Give me a pirate assassin, because that was sweet. The other gameplay, you've got the combat, of course. It's very Arkham City, let's put it that way. It's very not other Assassin's Creed games. You know, you're not gonna be like, oh, complicated fighting moves. It's gonna be, you're gonna counter, you're gonna kill, you're gonna counter, you're gonna kill. Same old, same old. Massive issue is that it's way too easy. Very rarely did you get overrun by bad guys that you couldn't beat. They all have different weaknesses, so it was just a matter of getting the right button push in after you counter. But besides that, it's a piece of cake. There's no real threat of death in this game, which is a bit sad. You'll get desynchronized because you did something wrong during the mission, but dying in combat, not going to happen. Or if it does, you messed up somehow. It's your own fault. Or it could be the fact that you're trying to change your weapon. The menus are so slow, so you have to hold the left bumper or the right bumper to bring up menus. So like your left bumper is your assassins to call them and stuff, and you want to change what they're going to do, if they want to attack, if they want to persuade, or whatever it is they have to do. And your right bumper is to change what weapons you have in your hand, so like your gun, your sword, your knife, your dagger, your hidden blades. They come up really slow, so you'll be holding that, you'll get hit a few times. So you may die from that, but that's a big annoyance. Horses also suck. Let's face it. Unless you're following a path, going off the beaten track in a horse is just disaster. You can't get around quickly on a horse. You may as well just leg it on foot. Horses, you suck. Fast travel or run. Forget horses. So there's a lot of pros for this game. Story, climbing, sailing, multiplayer of course. You got your multiplayer back. And it is sweet. It's exactly how you want it. It's great. You've got the usual kind of style where you get someone's hunting you, or you're hunting someone else, and you've got to blend in and kill people. Multiplayer, solid, awesome, adds to the whole feel of it. Story, like the single player story, took me about 45 hours to get 100% synchronization. So it is a massive game. Even after the credits, you have a ton of things to do. So like standalone, disc 1 is a 9 out of 5. And the fact that you get multiplayer along with that, this game, it's just a bargain. Like, this is the biggest Assassin's Creed game. This is like Ezio's story in one disc. Like, all those other 3 Assassin's Creed games have got nothing on this one game entirely. You've got an entire frontier to explore. You've got cities to explore, animals to hunt, chests to find, collectibles, sailing, climbing, missions, side quests, a homestead where you can meet people and build up a family, and like, well, not a family, but like a community, basically a family. It's just, there's so much going on in this. It's awesome. The only real cons you can complain about are bugs. There are a few bugs I have encountered. Nothing major though, nothing game breaking, just more like annoyances, like graphical glitches really for me. No like anything that's ruined my experience. Just the fact that when I run around the city, people will pop in and pop out, which is kind of like distracting. I guess Ubisoft could be like, oh, it's just the Animus playing up, whatever. But you know, it's your game. It's kind of annoying. So you'll be running and then like, oh, I got to get around this person, and that person just disappears. It's like, oh, well, okay, never mind then. Why not? Cool. So, Assassin's Creed 3. I loved Assassin's Creed. I loved Assassin's Creed 2. Brotherhood was good for what it was. Revelations sucked. And then Assassin's Creed 3 just, like, faith is restored. Revelations just shot it down. I was just like, oh man, do they know what they're doing anymore? Have they, like, run out of steam? Can they refresh this, make it feel new? They do. Assassin's Creed 3, they nailed it. 9.5 out of 10. Go get it if you love Assassin's Creed. Get the limited editions, you get a little statue. That's badass. Connor is awesome. So, 9.5 out of 10. Enjoy the rest of your day. Don't forget to subscribe. Check out our short films. Maybe we have an Assassin's Creed one coming up. Be sure to check out Assassin's Creed 3.